Everyone wants to make a difference in this world. But how can just one person make a huge impact? Or a church? How can one church reach people in distant corners of the world in life-changing ways? Through God, it's possible. And one powerful tool that God uses is called Ministry Shares. Ministry Shares is a fund powered by contributions from Christian Reformed churches just like yours. The CRC asks each of its congregations to give about $6 per member per week. That's about $300 per member each year. And when you add, God multiplies. Your contributions to Ministry Shares are added to those from Christian Reformed churches throughout North America. So you get to take part in the amazing work God does through a wide variety of ministries. Like Back to God Ministries International. They share the good news in 10 languages throughout nearly 200 countries, often reaching people in places otherwise closed to the gospel. Ministry Shares helps make it possible for them to produce evangelism and discipleship resources for audio, video, phone, print, and internet ministry. When you add, God multiplies the mission of Calvin College, one of the largest Christian colleges in North America, with nearly 4,000 students in over 100 majors. Your giving also helps to support other Reformed colleges and universities like Redeemer, Dordt, Trinity, and King's, where students pledge their hearts and lives to do God's work in God's world. Your gifts to Ministry Shares also support Calvin Theological Seminary. That means pastors, evangelists, church planters, ministers of education, and youth leaders are being equipped for God's call on their lives, thanks to you. When you add, God multiplies the ministry of Faith Alive Christian Resources, a leading Reformed publisher in North America. They publish resources for children, for leadership, for teaching, worship, prayer, and much more. They distribute Christian literature in several languages and publish The Banner, which is sent to every home in the Christian Reformed Church. When you add, God multiplies through Christian Reformed Home Missions. Each year, they help to launch dozens of new churches, as well as supporting campus ministries, cultivating diverse, mission-minded leaders, and partnering with congregations and classes to accomplish their evangelism goals. When you add, God multiplies the carrying out of His Great Commission through Christian Reformed World Missions. Since 1888, they've been working to extend Christ's reign among the nations, multiplying believers in churches, equipping and connecting leaders, reaching teachers and students with a biblical worldview, and strengthening churches and other organizations. Today, they have missionaries in over 20 countries, and their work extends to more than 40 countries. When you add, God multiplies other ministries too, including some right in your own church. You play a part in preventing and healing abuse, helping people with disabilities, working for racial reconciliation, ensuring healthy relationships between pastors and churches, ministering in war zones, hospitals, and workplaces, supporting Aboriginal ministries and the Center for Public Dialogue, connecting churches, and seeking justice. In addition to Ministry Shares, the ministries of the Christian Reformed Church also depend on your direct gifts and offerings. This includes the Christian Reformed World Relief Committee, which does not receive Ministry Shares and relies on donations, grants, and church offerings to support its work. It's a big calling. It's an exciting calling. For every single church and every single person in the CRC, you add, God multiplies. He multiplies faith. He multiplies hope. He multiplies love, touching millions around the world in the name of Jesus Christ. Be a part of what God is doing through Ministry Shares. Ministry Shares. Together, doing more.